I'm here. Good morning. Good morning to all of you. I'm so blessed. Namaste. I'm so blessed and honored to be here with you this morning. I wanted to see you, so I'm making you up in here while you are seeing me. Hi Gail. Hi Johan. Oh my goodness, and there's Janine and Janet. Hi Ian. You're looking good. Hello Tannie Codette. Oh my goodness, and look who's there. The Porras from Maputo. Joao, Victor, Lula. Hi Chanel, pregnant mommy in Australia. Wow, the church is packed this morning. Packed. Welcome, great beings. Oh, look at all the fathers here this morning. Oh my goodness. Welcome. And thank you for being here. Happy Father's Day to all of you for being that father role, even if not to your own blood, out of your heart to someone else, to those fathers who are fathers to four-legged ones. What a great love. Thank you for playing that role of being a daddy, a father, a papa, a hero. Thank you. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to my dad in spirit, to all the daddies in spirit, to the father-in-laws, to the fathers-to-be, to the grandfathers. Play such an important role in a child's life. To all of you, happy Father's Day. I'm so happy and privileged to share this morning with you. Thank you for joining us. I'm so grateful. Let's take a moment. Let's become still. In this moment, we are one. There is nothing separating us. We can feel the love. We can feel the connection. For beyond what we can see in this body, it is our beautiful spirits that are one with that infinite love and light. The great I am that is in every one of us. No one has been left out. That great presence, divine presence, is within each one of us. Despite all the chaos, the challenges, the losses we have and we are experiencing, materially, financially, physically, emotionally and mentally, there is always something to be grateful for. And the moment we choose to be grateful, there is this different energy that arises, that is available to us all. And let us invite that presence, that gratitude to be here this morning with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so happy this church is packed this morning. It's great to see you all here. People from all over. Welcome to our service. Thank you to those who are sharing the platform with me this morning. Max, Dominique, everybody. Gail, Isabel. Hi Isabel. Sorry for your loss of your mom, sweetheart. We are with you. We hold you. To all those of you who have had to experience death during this time, who have had to experience a retrenchment, a failure, a closing down, our thoughts and our prayers and our energy is holding you all. You are not alone. Although this is a alone journey, because only I can do what I need and you have to do what you need, we are holding a space while we do that. And that space is so important. It is unexplainable how holding a space for someone really does that, and is so, so powerful. And it carries us. It really does carry us. So never take it for granted. A great thank you to our chairpersons who have been hosting our group with me, for being a companion to those of us who are at home, for uplifting us, for reminding us, for inspiring us, for making us laugh, for making us cry. Thank you. Thank you to our team of healers, Peter Brink, Tony, Adrian, Roberto, Anne. Thank you so much. I keep on sending them every request and every feedback I have. And I know that the moment I put it on and they all just acknowledge with the little praying hands they've got it, I know how sincere they are in holding space of sending love. That's all it is, sending love. You are never alone. So in this past week, I've become very aware of how many people are really hitting a low this week. It's almost like we've been walking on this journey and we've seen the end of the line of that mountain we've been climbing, and we've been pulling ourselves up, and as we got to the top of the mountain, oh my God, what is there? Another mountain. And we realize, oh no, we have to find more strength, we have to find more resilience to make it up this next mountain. Because as we are all experiencing it, the big wave of COVID-19 is really hitting us now. Now it's no more, do you know anyone? Have you heard of anyone that has it? We all now can start saying, oh, so-and-so has it, and so-and-so has it. So it's coming closer, and the risk is becoming greater that most of us may even be infected. And we really have to pull on our resources, as companies are now saying, no, we're closing down, we're retrenching, we are hitting a wave of more losses. We're hitting a wave of the unknown again. And I want to remind you of how far we've come. I want to remind you, it's almost 100 days that we've been in this lockdown, that we have been on this climb. And so many of us have actually found ourselves. We have integrated pieces of ourselves. We've come to see parts of us that we've left behind in our past. So many of us have discovered things about ourselves, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Look how far we have come. Let us not forget the power is within us. It is so easy to feel overwhelmed by what is happening around us. And it's a filthy place out there, amongst politicians, amongst corruption and conspiracies and fear-driven messages and killings, and there is a lot of stuff out there that is bombarding us, trying to get our attention. I know, as a person myself, I know how hard it is to not get involved, to witness it as chaos, but not engage it. I want to remind you of the amazing quality in nature. For something new to be born, what has to happen? Something has to dissolve. The old has to dissolve so that something new can be born. What do you think that dissolving looks like? What do you think that dissolving feels like? Think about it. You're nicely protected in this little hard shell, and someone presses you into the ground. And it's wet and it's dark and people walk on you. But in that darkness, we have to dissolve that outer shell. And there is something that can build up from the inside and pop out of the ground, and we celebrate because the seed has sprouted, and we can celebrate growth, and we can celebrate the potential of what has just popped out of this ground. Wherever there is birth, there is chaos. The old has to dissolve for the new to be able to take on. And so, do not be dismayed by the chaos you witness around you, the chaos you feel within you. This is an important time for us to let the old dissolve. Let the old go. Let go of it. Let us remember who we really are. In our higher self, in our presence, in our I am. Let us hold that and let us witness the dissolving. Let us witness the struggle, but let us not engage it. Let's keep our focus on the potential that can come out of this chaos, the potential that can come out of this growth and grow into a marvelous new fruit, a new growth, a new plant, a new opportunity. Do not be dismayed. And so I know that many of you are struggling and you're hitting a low at some time. Fear gets hold of you. The reality of death is in our faces, of illness is in our faces. We do what we can, to protect ourselves. But it's here. It is around. Those of us who have children, who have grandchildren, who have elderly parents, we fear for their health. We fear for their well-being. But let me remind you, and let me remind me of that built-in essence, built-in presence, who we really are. It's not just something we can use, it's who we are. And so I'd love to start this morning with this beautiful piece called I Am. Before the body, before the story, before the name, beyond the mind's attempt to find or explain, before the breath, beyond the sense of pleasure or of pain, and after death, I am. Within the heart, the whole and part of everything I see, behind the eyes, beyond disguise, reflecting me, at the silent core, and yet before phenomena began, and after it, I am. Many differences separate us from the surface, yes, but I cannot find a boundary in consciousness. And when you ask me, where does awareness begin and where does it end? I have to say, I've always been. Within the body, without the body, not subject to, changing moods or states of health or points of view, without needs, before the deeds and the monuments of man, and after that, I am. Many differences separate us from the surface, yes, but I cannot find a boundary in consciousness. And when you ask me, where does awareness begin and does it end? I have to say, I've always been. At the silent core, and yet before phenomena began, and after it, I am. Beautiful piece from The Embrace by Kartana. You may have heard the song often. I want to address that I am. That I am. That silent, present witness within each and every one of us. We can allow ourselves to surrender to it, to see it, and to see everything. And we can witness our body, and we can witness our mind and our thoughts and how far it goes and how it jumps from tree to tree like a monkey. And I can witness my emotions, and I can see which emotional files are open and which ones are running over. I can witness which emotions are empty and I've not allowed myself to feel them in a long time. I can witness my spirit, my soul, my truth, my path. I can witness my wounds. I can witness my unfinished business. I can witness my potential, my future. In the blink of an eye. In this moment, now, it is everything. And it's within us. And all we have to do is know it and accept it. It is there within our being. And in a moment, we can go within. And I can surrender, and I can feel it, and I can become the I am. Not subject to a body or a mind or a defense or a behavior or a habit or an attitude or a past event or a person in my past. For every time we do that, we invest some of our power into these people, places, things, times and events. And we are so invested in them that we allow it then to have a control over my body, over my mind, over my emotions, over my reality. And we become little puppets. We forget our greatest sin, if there is such a thing, is our forgetfulness. We forget. We forget who we are. We forget our power. We forget our choice. And we allow the outside world to pull us. And those places that we have invested our power into, because we may have a void or a need inside of us that makes us feel we have to perform to get that energy back, this dysfunctional tit-for-tat game starts happening. And it's a tiring, draining game. And sometimes I'm the perpetrator, and sometimes I'm the victim, and sometimes I'm the rescuer. But the power that we engage in is a poor power. It is a conditional power. And it's manipulative, and it's all about the past. It's all about a wound and an emptiness. It's about an unspeakable. But the moment that I can witness this, and I can make a choice to connect to real power, that power that is within us, the power that nature supplies us with, the breath that I breathe in, if I consciously choose to breathe, if I consciously connect to nature, if I am in a space of gratitude, if I engage with music and beauty, a beauty that has no condition, oh my God, it fills my being. And I can now let a flow of power run through me. And I no longer have to hold back or defend or give it all and then feel cheated and become a victim. It is that essence, it is that power that we now more than ever need to connect to. And so I wanted to remind you, when I work, when I say I'm a holistic counselor, the first thing I speak of to people is that we are all a whole person. We are all a whole person. Not meaning that we are perfect. I hope you can all see. We're all born as a whole person. Not meaning we are perfect, but meaning that we are made up of different parts. Okay? And these are the parts that we every day we are aware of. Our body, our mind, our emotions, and our feelings and our spirit and our soul. And that is what makes me up, okay? And somewhere in there we can fit financial and social in there as well. But at the core, deep inside, the I am is there, witnessing, that can redirect. But what goes wrong is that life starts happening to us, okay? From a young age, we start experiencing challenges, losses, pulls, taking away, distracting us, experiences. And because we do not have the mental capacity to understand it, we haven't had the knowledge or the experience to understand the stuff that's happening in the outside world, but we feel it all, we start feeling this pull inside of us, because not long, all these losses that we are experiencing, maybe our parents are fighting, maybe our granny dies, maybe I fail at school, maybe it's a whole lot of stuff. It's life. You and I don't have a control over that. It is life. And not long, these lines start pulling at each other, and we start looking something like that. Not equal, but out of balance and out of tune. And maybe my emotions have taken over, and my mind is trying to make sense of it, and my body is trying to survive, and there's a little space for my spirit and my soul. And now this conflict that we're experiencing within us, and we have this experience of life outside of us, that we feel everything is happening to me. This is not fair. This is the third time we've had to move. My parents have divorced. I failed at school. I'm rejected. I'm neglected. Whatever it may be, we all have a story. A story that is meant to bring us back to the I am, to remind us of the power. You do not have a story because you were bad. You had the story because you forgot who you are. That's all. You forgot who you are, and you invested in beliefs. You invested in habits, in behaviors, in perceptions of yourself and life. And we've held on to emotions that start taking over me and start controlling me. And no matter what I engage in, I'm not in control. This emotion decides who is going to be. Have you seen angry people? Even in their deepest core, they want to say morning. It comes out, morning. Have you noticed that? It's not who they really are, but they are out of control. That angry file is full. It's open, it's running over, it's running into peace and love and acceptance and joy. And even if they want to see something beautiful out there, they're looking at it through anger. They're looking at it through betrayal and cheatedness. And so what does life see? Life presents them back with more. Because ultimately, where is the wound? Why have we become like that? Because there is a wound in there that is needing some attention, okay? And it's needing healing. It's needing love. It's needing acceptance. It's needing to be integrated. It's needed to release whatever our journey is. Because how do we get back here again? Because what happens here, when we live like this, we have to find our power to survive from playing certain roles and games. The victim, perpetrator, rescuer, solver, fixer, you name it. We start engaging in that game, and we start writing our story. We make it bigger. We take personally what actually has nothing to do with us. We are angry with life because death is in it. Death is a reality of life. It is no one punishing you. And so we become out of context. And the I am just retreats. It stands back because you and I have a free will. And I am respects that free will because we are an I am. And if you choose to be angry, if you choose to be a victim, if you choose to be a failure, it allows you, because that experience is what you have chosen to experience as a soul, to strengthen, to remember, to undo, to uncover, to let go, to heal an unfinished wound that has come for thousands and thousands of years. And so it's not about going and loading up. It's about uncovering so we can discover the I am again. So we can discover our greatness. We are all already gods. How many times must we be told that? But where is the God within you? Where is it when you are facing a retrenchment? Where is it when you are facing an illness, a death? When you are facing a child going through a tough time, where is that God then? We like to talk the philosophy, but we haven't quite integrated it yet. And so, how do we get back here? We have to become the captain of our ship, because we have withdrawn and we've given our power to our mind, to our perceptions and our attitudes. We've given it the power to create our reality, and whatever it focuses on is what we are getting back. We've given our power to our emotions. We've allowed the anger or the bitterness or the sadness or the depression to run over and to take over, and so everything we see is through that veil of darkness. We have given our power away because I am is not present. We have to stop and we have to allow ourselves to realize we are the CEO. We are the captain of this ship. And you and I have 4 partners: a body, a mind, emotion and spirit. And we have to acknowledge and we have to take ownership and say, oh my God, what the hell is going on here? And we have to observe and we have to call a board meeting. And we have to sit with body, with mind, with emotion and spirit. And as CEO, we observe, we witness. Oh my God, while I've been gone, while I've been absent, some partners have taken over the show. Not to judge, not to criticize. They were trying to keep this company afloat. And they learned to survive in certain ways and squash other pieces. But as an observer and as a witness, and the one who has the vision, we can tell this is not okay, this is dysfunctional. And we can step in and we have to start checking in. All right, guys, I've been missing. I take full responsibility for that. When life started blowing me, I just gave up and surrendered, and I allowed you to take over. And we have created dysfunction. We have created dysfunction. But that's not harmonious. That's not what it's about. Let's try and see, body, what's happening with you? What are you feeling? And we have to listen. We have to understand what the impact has been on the body. We have to check into the mind. Hi, mind. My God, look how far you've brought us with your resolutions, with your thinking, with your survival. God, thank you. But you're stepping on other people's toes. What are you needing? How has my absence and others' withdrawal affected you? Yeah, the responsibility is great. And now you're forgetting that they're your partners too. All right, I get it. Hi, emotions. What's happening with you? Oh my God, look at those files that are open. You are taking over. Do you know that there are other files that want to express itself? No, 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 no. We have to sort this out. It's like having a full dustbin inside of you that has not been emptied out. Do you know how it pongs? Do you know how a full dustbin that has not been emptied for 3 months, do you know how that stinks? Do you know how that contaminates its partners? It's not the dustbin's fault. In survival, we just have to throw away and store it. But it's my responsibility to check in and see how full is the dustbin and what does this dustbin need. And I need to empty out this dustbin so this dustbin can release. So I can clean it out and I can start anew and I can make space in the drawer so there's space for me to experience peace and healing and forgiveness of self and joy. I can get balance in there. There's a wound. There's something was bleeding and that's why the dustbin is full of dirty bandages. When last have I checked into my wound? Your wound does not want to stay on paining and causing you suffering. It just wants to be acknowledged. It just wants to be loved. It wants to be given a space. It wants to be understood. It wants to have a voice. It wants to release. It wants to heal. It wants you to let it go. Not pack it in, put a wire around it, a big lock on it. That's not helping you. And we think that starting a spiritual journey, I'm just going to focus on my spirit and I'll ignore all of this. You can't ignore it. It's part of who you are and it will affect your spirit. So we have to take responsibility in working with ourselves holistically. As CEO, I have to look at my soul. I have to look at my spirit and saying, oh my God, what am I? Am I really authentic? Or am I just a philosopher? Am I really doing acts of deed because I want to and I love to? Or is it because I have a fear of the God? The God that we've been brainwashed about? Am I afraid of being punished? Is it because I did bad stuff in the past that I've locked away? Now I'm trying. We have to be authentic. We have to be brutally honest with ourselves. There is no shame. But in uncovering and looking at these parts, as the CEO, I can now start checking in and I can respond. And I'm saying, okay, well, I've identified my body's feeling this, my mind is feeling this, my emotions are feeling this, my spirit is feeling this, and I can say, what does my body need? What does my mind need? What do my emotions need? What does my spirit need? What can we do about it? What can I do about it? What can the rest of you do about her need? What do you need? What can I do? And what can the rest do about yours? And so we can start interacting and giving each other rather than rejecting, suppressing, and creating dysfunction and discord inside ourselves. And we project all of this stuff on what is out there. We give what we need most. Hello, Goldie. Hello, Goldie. So, we all have a responsibility in remembering who we are is to connect to the I am. The I am is that silent, present witness within you, always. We are the ones that move away, that shift away from it. It's here. It's in the now. It's always here. Non-judgmental. No condition. Unlimited. Always here for us. But it respects my personal free will. What I want to choose to see, how I want to see it, how I want to react, how I want to respond. And we are creating and taking ourselves further and further away from that I am, that presence that is within us. It is so loving. Oh my God, you have never experienced the love of that I am. It does not judge. It does not condemn. But it wants you to become it. It wants you to create from its point of view. Its unlimited presence in the now. It has no past. It's just here in this now. And we can use the I am. We can invite I am into our CEO role. And we can allow God, mind, consciousness and the energy of it to flow through us when we respond to our body, when we respond to our mind, when we respond to our emotions, when we respond to our spirit. We can allow God, mind, consciousness to flow through, to heal, to bring change. We can use God, mind, consciousness to see a future. And we all have been told so many times by Jesus, by great masters in the past, we have to be what it is we want. Yes, we have to fake it till we make it. But we have to be filled with an acceptance of that potential. Whether it's a complete healing, whether it's a complete balance, whether it's a releasing of depression, whether it's a growth of spirit, experiencing the philosophy, we can allow and invite God, mind, consciousness by becoming it. Become still and know that you are God. Really know it without the distractions and the chaos and the many voices and the wounds that want attention. We need discipline. This exercise is a discipline. Do you know how many people I share it with? Do you know how many people get it but don't do it? Their mind gets it, but they don't allow their heart to experience it. They don't allow their whole being to integrate it. But then there are a few who get it, who do it. Not because I said so, but because this is a truth. And they discover, and they unpack, and they uncover greatness, and they discover, and they can respond to a need, and they can respond to a wound. Because by writing it out, by doing spider drawings, by unpacking your emotions, your thoughts, your attitudes, your perceptions, by unpacking and seeing, why am I feeling this way? By asking ourselves questions. How does this behavior affect my life? How does this perception make me feel? What does it attract to me? What does it delete from my life? What does it need? How can I fulfill it? What do I need to say to make this better? How do I need to behave to change this reality? What do I need to give up? What do I need to let go of? What do I need to integrate? The moment, I promise you, the moment you take the time and you take the discipline. I have so many drawings in my house that I have done. If you're working with fear, for example, fear. What is it that I'm afraid of? I write it out. What? What am I afraid of? How does this fear affect my body, my mind, my emotions, my spirit? What does it need? What is this fear? We've got it there. Who is it connected to? And I list the people, and I write it, and I leave it open on my desk, and I go on. But suddenly, my being is now releasing it. And the moment I put it onto paper, it can no longer control me. I can now respond to it because I've taken it outside of myself and I can see it. And now I can see the potentials. I can see things differently. What is the truth about this fear? What is my mind What can my mind offer? What can my spirit offer? What can my heart offer? I promise you, if you would be disciplined to own this and to do this kind of work with whatever is troubling you, whether it be depression, unpack your depression. Look at it. What is this depression? What does it look like? What does it feel like? What does it sound like? What is in there? If it's anger, right, I am angry because, and just start listing. Just let it out. Be the witness. Don't engage. Don't go back to the past and remember the story. It's not about the story. You know the story far too well. It's about releasing the energy that we have put into it. And by putting it outside of us, I now have a control to respond to it, to discover what is the wound. What does that wound really need from me? How can I give it? What can I do it? How can I love this wound? We speak. Healing is love. Love is the greatest healer. Can you really love your depression? Can you really love your lack? That's the challenge. That's the challenge. But while it's in you and you are suppressing it and you are judging it and you are fearing it, it is controlling you. Not because it wants to punish you, but how else must it get your attention? Let it out. Let it be outside of you. And now you as a whole person can respond to that wound. Many of you know, I often do this exercise. And I say, what do you see? Oh, I see a tire. Oh, I see a tunnel. And there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Oh my God, it looks like a string, a ball of string. Oh no, it's an eye, it's an evil eye. And we come up with a lot of stuff, and I say, that's correct. What else do you see? Gee, and they zoom in and they zoom in. And then after a while I ask them, do you see the white page around the dot? Yes. No, you did not, otherwise you would have said that. And that's what happens, is that sometimes this dot, we get our power and we live in the dot. Do you think the dot knows it has a page around it? No. It just knows it's a big black dot. It's round and it's limited and there's no space to go and it's stuck. But the moment that you see the page, you can respond to this dot from any angle. You can respond to that dot. But the moment we forget who we are, because the truth is, this is who you are. This is just a dot of what you are experiencing. And the moment we choose to be the dot, it swallows us in and we can't see anything. We're just looking through a little mindset or a little condition, a belief. You are more than what happened to you. You are more, always. But from that space, this is a wound. Don't judge it. Don't criticize it. But also don't use it as an excuse. Respond to that wound. It doesn't mean you must sit with this wound all day long and just watch it. No, you still have a life. You can still go to work. You can still be a family member. You can still earn money. You can still have fun. You can go to church. You can do all that. But we must learn discipline. We must check into the wound on a regular basis. Body, how are you doing? What would happen if the CEO did not have meetings with core directors in his company? And they just start thinking, well, I'm sure he'll be happy with it and do what they want to. Those of us who have a business sense, we understand. In a house, it's not just about a company. In a house, if you don't have rules and order in your house, what would it be like if everyone just decides to do what they want to do? Chaos. Disharmony. Am I right? We have to bring order back into our life. not control. There is order in nature. There is order in the stars. There is order in the seasons. But they have to be there. And just so we have to respect the role of order in my life. The role of discipline as an order in my life. To take charge of who I am. To connect to that I am. Have its view from time to time. Be that great observer. Observe what it can see. And then bring that vision back. And bring it back to that dot. That dot does not know. It's forgotten it has a potential. And so I'm asking you, use this time to love yourself back into life. To remember your I am, your divine presence. Oh, I've enjoyed reading Saving Jesus to you. Those of you who joined me in that amazing research book, the message in it is the message that Jesus came to deliver us, which has been so distorted by ego, by pride, by forgetfulness. But the message is that whatever Jesus could do, you and I can do, and greater. And we have failed him. We have failed that message because we have forgotten. Those belief systems and those corrupted brainwashing is still controlling us. We have to uncover, we have to love, we have to become aware, we have to become the witness without engaging. We have to develop understanding. No healing can take place in judgment. No healing can take place in I should have, I could have, I should have. Understand. Understand where you were at when you took on a certain perception or attitude. You've criticized yourself enough. I'm asking you to love. I'm asking you to turn around and give those things you need that we so gladly give out there, hoping it will make us whole. Let's take that and give it to ourselves. And let us be strong, because our resilience comes from that connection, comes from that focus, from that order, from that discipline. I do hope that my babbling has made sense to you. I share it with utmost humbleness in my attempt to understand and help you to understand your disharmony, your dysfunctionality, your stuckness. I see your greatness. I want you to see mine. I want you to remind me as well. We are so blessed. As I said before a few Sundays ago, oh my God, if we could put every little verse, every inspirational reading, every talk that we have had in this past couple of weeks, just in Sundays, my God, we would have a new Bible. We are blessed with so much. Life is holding a space for us to become. Overcome, 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 to become. Now that we've got to this mountain and we have overcome it, let's take a breath. But there's still another mountain. You have the power within you. You have the power within the core of your being, and you can bring that power into your mind, into your body, into your immune system, into your emotions, into your spirit, and you can be focused. Focus on the you want to be, and be it. Live as if it's always been that way. Make it a discipline to create your day from the Lord God of your being. Make it a discipline to be still, to observe, to not judge, to not entertain, to not engage, to see and allow the change. Allow, work with it. Let it uncover. Don't be afraid of the unknown and the chaos. That dissolving of the old brings a beautiful newness, awaiting you, awaiting me. My beloved friends, I give thanks for this opportunity to be part of you. I give thanks for this journey I am on myself. I love you. I send my love to each one of you in your personal struggles, your personal victories, your greatest potentials. Thank you for allowing me to be part of this day. I love you. God bless you. God bless me. God bless us. Let us not forget that beautiful I am.